Alrighty, Mr. Gatekeeper here. Got an Armadillo 1x4. A lot of you fellas up north might not ever heard of armadillos. They're a very nice homebrew, old school amplifier built down south. Very nice, unique amplifiers. The builder is not a copycat. He's a smart fella and he builds straight from his brain. He's not a copycat. He's one of them fellas that already had RF electrical knowledge before he started building. So he's got his own style. But I received this unit without a power supply built into it. So that is all I have done. Is just built the power supply section in it. There's absolutely nothing wrong with the main amp section. I just cleaned it up a little bit. This is what I've done right here. We added a 100 amp transformer, a 57,000 microfarad cap, and a very expensive bulletproof rectifying module, 100 amp module. Right there. You cannot go wrong using them. You cannot go wrong using them. You save a lot of wires. Yes, they are expensive. Yes, they are. But, like I said, bulletproof. I know a fella that's been using them for over 6 or 7 years now and has not had one fell on him yet. And I'm not kidding. And this guy uses them a lot. He builds a lot of 1,000 amp, 800 amp, 600 amp power supplies using these boogers, man. A lot less wires when you're building a 400, 500, 600 amp power supply. Instead of 64 wires, you can break it down to 16. Makes everything neater. Did everything as neat as we could right here. Still utilized the inline fuse. And now here's one other thing that I done for the fella. I have not put the labels on it yet. But he's being smart, and he's like, you know, he understands he's going to have a 100 amp unregulated power supply in this unit, and he would like to be able to use the 100 amp power supply if he wants to power something else, like another 1x4 or another 4-pill. So that's what we got going on back here for him. I got these alligator clips hooked up too. I got them hooked up just monitoring the voltage down here of the power supply, floating at 19 volts. Alright. There's your positive and there's your negative. So if you wanted to use just the power supply section, you would turn the power supply on and leave the amp turned off, and there you got your unregulated 100 amp power supply. Anybody thinking of possibly getting these regulating modules right here, let me know. They're expensive, I will admit that, but they make life a lot easier. That's for sure. That's for sure. Well, alrighty. Well, here we go. I'm going to go ahead and turn her on. Let y'all see what she's doing. First, I'm going to go ahead and... We got a new bench radio. Okay. This radio is fully stock. I put a dead key variable on it. Put a filter cap on it. Turned up the modulation to 100%. It's not a strong radio. It does about 4 watts on the bird. 4 watts, 4 or 5 watts on the bird, maybe 18 to 20 on the peak if I'm lucky. Let you go ahead and see that. So we're lucky to get 18 to 20 watts out of her. Okay, let's go ahead and turn the box on all the way down. Floating about 18.9. So another good thing about this, if I was using regular square bridges, this float voltage would be a lot lower. That's another cool thing about this rectifying module. you have a lot less lower voltage drop like you would normally with the square going across the two rectifiers. So you got that 0.7 volts, a lot lower voltage drop, so you get a lot of your volts back. So it allows you to use lower taps on the transformers. I'm actually not using the highest tap on this. I'm using the medium tap. We're using the white and yellow. We're using the medium tap on this, so we're not even using the high. I probably would have used the high if it was a straight 4, but the way that power transformer was looking, medium is going to be perfect for this setup. So, all right, we got it on low. Alrighty, about 370. Let's go ahead and pump her up. About halfway. It's a mean box right here. Fella's got them a 1200 watt PEP box, man. It's a mean box. Got all the current it needs. Come on now, focus. Alrighty, about 750 watts. Halfway. Let's go ahead and just pump her all the way up. Alrighty, 1200 watts on the peak. This thing is banging. Let's let y'all see the voltage drop. $19 volts. See, I probably could even use. I could have probably even used a low voltage tap on this cotton picker if I wanted to. But this fella I done this for, he likes running a mean box. So we let him go ahead and have the 16 volt run. He's a 16. He likes 16 volts. If I'd have used a lower voltage tap, it'd probably be around about 14.5 right now. But he likes the 16. If I was using a low, it'd probably be peaking out about 1,000 on this meter. Now, let y'all understand, I'm not a fella that's trying to creep nothing by you, and damn sure not trying to trick you. If I have something wrong with one of my pieces of equipment, I'm going to admit it to you, man. That's the kind of fella I am, and I'm going to stay that way. I ain't trying to act big and bad, make all these animations making me appear that I'm something that I ain't, showing you animations of things blowing up and everything. You know what I'm saying? I ain't that way, man. I'm just trying to keep it cool, man. This is a hobby, not a business for me. I'm going to soon send this off to MFJ, because I did buy it used, you know, so I have no idea of the full accuracy of it. But I'm going to send it off to MFJ, because one thing I have noticed is this thing has individual scales, just like a regular meter, how this meter's got 4 scales in it. This one's the same way, but it's automatically switched from one to another. Well, the 0 to I think 100 watt scale, or is it 0 to 6? The first scale and the last scale seems to be a little on the looser end. Meaning, as you just saw 1250 watts just then, it's probably doing more like, I would say maybe 1100 or maybe even 1050. That's just a guess, okay? So I ain't trying to creep nothing by you, you know. This is a 1300 watt box. Well, I mean, this box will do that much if you hit it with a damn good radio. And any 4-pills are going to peak that big. They will peak 1300 watts if you drive and bolt the hell out of them. They ain't going to last long, but they will do it. When I give you max readings right here, I'm just giving you the max readings. Just, you know, this is what it does max. Well, if this was my box, would I blast this thing all the way up like this and talk and rag chew like that? No. Heck no. I'd probably creep this thing more about the 800 watt mark, man. You know, let it cruise. That's all. Get a bigger box if I want to squeeze more watts out of it. It's just going to make more heat and give me no more dB gain. Come on now. The dB gain table, you've got to understand it in your mind, man. you gotta double your wattage to have a noticeable increase on the other end. So if you're doing 800 watts and you've got to really squeeze 200 more watts out to get it grand, and you've got to squeeze watts as in, you know, do something crazy to generate just more heat and strain, it ain't worth it, man. Because you're gonna see 1,000 watts on this end, but the person on the other end ain't gonna hear nothing, no difference. If anything, they might actually hear a little bit more distortion if you winding that Class C box out, you know. That's just the way it rolls. But hey, on the other end though, sometimes it just makes some of us feel better to see a little more. Hell, I remember when I first started off, I'd be in my Mobile just watching that goddamn needle swing like a windshield wiper, man. I'd about wreck sometimes. I don't want to look down and watch it swing every time I audio. Oh, me. It's a hobby, though. We gotta love it. But there you go. Regardless, man, this thing's working well. Working well. Even the meter right here works just fine as well. Let me show you that. Do-dia. Do-dia. And then we turn it up all the way. Do-dia. So that's pretty neat, you know. Pretty neat little circuit. Alright, gatekeeper set it. Armadillo. 1x4. Old school build. 100 amp power supply installation. With 2 ports on the back so the fella can actually use it externally without this section on, and actually use the 100 amp power supply by himself. No doubt about it. Mr. Gatekeeper said it. We're on to the next. We sure do got quite a few out here we need to get done. Bye bye.